Hey, everybody. Let me be honest with you for a moment. Comparison has stolen my joy a lot. Not because I don't love what I do, not because I'm not called, but because I started looking sideways instead of straight ahead. And I do that a lot. Instead of me focusing on what I'm supposed to do, I look side to side. And the moment I do that, I feel it. My peace is gone, my focus is gone, my joy is gone. So if you've ever looked at another school, another leader, another win and thought, why not me? This episode is for you. Today, we're talking about staying focused because comparison really is the thief of joy. So, welcome back to the podcast. Please share with the leader near you. This episode isn't about strategy first, it's about alignment because you can be doing good work and still lose your joy if your focus drifts. And before we even talk about comparison, we've got to define something very quickly. What is joy, actually? So when I talk about joy, I'm not talking about how I feel on a random Tuesday, on a Sunday, when I'm with my family. No, for me, joy is biblical. It's not rooted in happiness. It's not rooted in success. It's not even rooted in peace. My joy comes from knowing God is with me. All right. He's keeping me and he has a purpose for my life. And here's the key. My joy isn't even found in my purpose. My joy is found in obedience. I know I'm doing God's will by being a school leader. So that's where my joy comes from. Because if I'm following God's will, then I already know how the story ends. Even through hardship, even through struggle, even through seasons that feel very, very heavy. Honestly, I feel joy every day. I don't always feel happiness every day, but I do feel joy. But usually I find that joy in reflection. When I stop and think about the good moments, the conversations, the growth, the people that I work with, the students that I work with, that's where joy lives for me. But if I'm really being real, comparison steals my joy fast. Exhaustion can too, but comparison for me is the quickest. It doesn't knock, it just takes. And I've spent a lot of my life dealing with comparison. If joy had a sound or an image for me right now, it would be this: me being healthy, me running, me exercising, me reading, me smiling at work. That's when I know I'm walking in joy because I'm walking in my purpose and I'm walking in obedience. So it's knowing I gave my best, knowing I care deeply about the people that I serve. That's when I feel like I'm in joy. Not that everything's perfect, but that I feel like I'm walking in joy. Lately, I've taught myself comparing journey or my journey to other principals, other leaders in other schools, leaders who look like they're winning, schools getting awards, people seeing success. I see it on social media all the time. And sometimes I get frustrated, not because I don't believe in the work that we're doing at my school, but because I don't always feel like I'm winning. Like I'm a winner. I want to win. And comparison starts whispering things like, you should be doing better. You aren't where they are. You're behind. And that's when it starts to show up for me, the anxiety, the pressure, the distraction. Comparison has cost me my peace, not just recently, but a lot of times. It pulls me out of my lane. I start focusing on how to be like someone else instead of just running my race. So comparison destroys focus because it pulls your attention toward things that aren't even yours to carry. That's not even your race to run. But because you're comparing, you're now starting to try to be like others. It makes you chase goals that aren't meant for your season. It's not even your season for that. You ain't ready for that. And I think high achievers struggle with this more because we always want to win. We want to do well. We care very deeply. But here's the danger with that. When comparison becomes the measuring stick, someone else's purpose starts looking like your purpose. And that's when focus is gone. You can't focus if you're looking at someone else's lane. If comparison is a thief, here's what I would tell you: it stole from me and it continues to steal from me sometimes. Sometimes comparison steals my time worrying about how others see my work, time I could have invested in what actually matters. And once time is gone, you don't get it back. All right. Your time is the most precious thing that you have. So, what do I do when comparison shows up? And these are some strategies that I've started to do a lot recently, and it's helped me out a lot. I reflect, I journal, I remind myself of what's already been accomplished. Sometimes I have to get away. I got to walk out, I got to work out, I got to read just to reawaken the dreamer in me. And honestly, sometimes just going to games to see my students, going to school events, seeing students outside the classroom, seeing staff outside the building. That reminds me of my assignment. So here are a few things that help me stay focused, a couple of daily habits. One is reflection and journaling every day. All right. So there's a boundary for me. Sometimes I just don't watch what everyone else is doing. All right. I keep my head down to protect my joy. Sometimes I got to get off social media. Just got to get away from it. Gratitude without losing ambition. I remind myself this work is ministry, and scripture keeps me grounded. Again, I'm a believer. Sometimes I really got to get into my Bible and just remember why I do this. So, a question I ask myself is this comparison help me get better? If this comparison isn't doing that, I stop comparing. Instead of asking, why not me? I ask myself, what can I learn from this? Instead of saying I'm behind, I say, am I actually right on pace? And instead of thinking they're doing more than me, I remind myself, I don't know what it costs them to get there. Sometimes you need to read and listen to people's story before you compare. If you're listening to this and feeling behind, let me say this clearly. You are enough. Reflect on where you've been, reflect on where you are, and then also reflect on where you're going. As long as you're aligned with your purpose and your pace, comparison doesn't get to win. It can't win. Staying focused in this season means taking care of yourself, defining what health looks like for you, and building a healthy school, not just a flashy one. Because a healthy organization is the best model. A healthy organization is the best model. When leaders are healthy, staff are supported, stakeholders are proud, and students thrive. So stay focused. Comparison is the thief of joy. Run your race.